Hi Vogue, this is Jessica Alba. I'm gonna put on bunny ears. Well, I'm gonna show you how I do skin prep, you know, before I'm doing my makeup. And usually after a workout, I like to put this mask on. It's a shea butter antioxidant mask, and it smells delicious. I actually like to use this mask on the daily. I'll just wake up, put this mask on, and then I go downstairs and have my coffee and hang out with my kids. And I usually terrify my 2-year-old. You basically wait for like 10 minutes. I like to take it off with a sponge because it's kind of a pain taking it off with anything else. So I'll usually use the Deep Hydration Face Cream. I'll do like a squirt of that. A Korean friend of mine told me to beat my face. So I don't really like doing this, but she said her mom looks really young and she beats her face. Okay. So this is like a water-based cream. So I go very liberally with this one. I like to use this little device. It basically just like gets the blood flowing. So that's that. And then if you really want to double whammy it, do this bad boy. And this one you can even feel like warm up on your face, and sometimes my face gets like a little bit red. And then just wiping on the rest. So I usually put on an eye mask. And I like these because they're this like, they're like a biocellulose. Yeah. Yeah, and all of the skincare products that I use are clean. And why I'm so passionate about it is because I have such reactive skin, and I've had such reactive skin literally since I was born. I just really seek out products that are, for the most part, fragrance free, and then looking for products that don't have parabens, don't have petroleum-based ingredients, things like that, because I'm actually allergic to a lot of petroleum-based ingredients. And oh, I'm doing this lip scrub. I find that when I'm tired and I have a lower immune system, my skin rashes come out more. I'm not sleeping, and I've been shooting a TV show and I have not been sleeping very well. Champagne problems, right? So I just scrub it up. So I think you should just put a balm on after, like immediately after. And that is my skin prep. I think it's important, whether you have kids or not, as a woman in the world, trying to do the things, get your hustle on, wearing all the hats. I think it's important that we take time to take care of ourselves. And if you can do that on the daily, even if it's for like 10 minutes, it's important. And don't let anyone take that away from you. Hi everyone. I just wear these nice fluffy bunny ears because it doesn't crease my hair. I am going to do a diffused smoky eye. I feel like this looks good on everybody. It's a great day to night thing, because you can just take your sort of like makeup, no makeup look, and if you add that eye, you can transform your look to night and still have a nude lip so you can smooch. I like to use 2 primers. So this is the Glow Primer, and I learned this from a makeup artist named Daniel Martin. And basically, I put the matte primer everywhere where I want to be matte, underneath. And I put the glow primer everywhere I want to glow. So I want to be matte here, here, sides of my nose, eyelid. And you might be wondering why I still have my eye mask on. And what's nice about having an eye mask on while you're doing your makeup is it can catch the fallout from your eyeshadow when you're doing a smoky eye. And then I put the glow primer everywhere where I want to glow. And some people just skip primers, but cool. I'm just gonna brush my eyebrows up. But I've done microblading with my eyebrows. Brows are a big thing and they frame your face. I always kind of brush them before I start. This is a nice neutral palette. And what I like is it has this really good bone color or ivory. And I first apply it with my finger. And then get like a fluffy brush. I used to be really intimidated with doing my own eyeshadow. And then I learned that all you had to do was have like a really good fluffy brush and you can buff out all your mistakes. I'm gonna go in with this like pretty unassuming, it's just like a brown. So I'm gonna put that all over the lid. So the more kind of just buffed out and diffused, the better. So you don't have to worry about being so perfect. There are these really pretty eye tints. It's like a blushy. So I'm gonna do that just along the line here. And then there's this other one called 23. So this one I'm doing right above the other one. I'm just putting it along the lid, but I do the lighter one closer to the lash line and then the darker one above it. So pretty. This is, when you're trying to be extra, this palette is for you. Basically, all the colors are really beautiful, but a little goes a long way. Gold color. I'm gonna mix it with this like brownish color. I'm gonna do just the corner here and then go underneath. And create kind of like that wing, see? And then I end it sort of halfway through. I'm gonna do the same on the other side. It's always really stressful to try and get both sides the same. Let's start with the wing, which is underneath. I learned how to do my makeup from seriously watching my mom, because my mom couldn't wait to put on a full face. I mean, even just to go to the grocery store. I'm gonna use the Dior here. I'm gonna go in with this bronzy color. This guy, very shimmery, shimmery. And I'm gonna blend out on my lid over here. And so now I'm gonna take off. And now this, don't judge me, just watch and learn. I'm gonna do the contour. So I like to use a darker foundation for contour. And this is a cream foundation, but it's also can be used as a concealer foundation. And I just go in where I would normally do contour. And so the lighter color in the cream foundation, I'm gonna put under my eyes. And it doesn't really need to be blended out at all. For some reason, my face stays longer when I do this. Then I go in with the CCC. It's like a SPF, like a tinted moisturizer. It's like skincare, makeup with skincare benefits. And then I go in and go to town. And you just go right over everywhere. So when I was working as an actress full time, I had piles and piles of makeup on my face all day long. I was on lots of prescription medicine actually for acne. And it's also because there really wasn't a makeup brand that was clean that I could use on my skin. And then when I became a mom and I stopped acting full time, and they say that your daughters take your beauty away from you. Well, they did. So I cried a lot and I became best friends with my esthetician because I basically saw her every other day. I like these little concealer pens. I'm gonna just put that underneath my eyes and I get my powder. I like this translucent powder and I get like a fluffy brush. Take off all the excess and I just like to powder where I don't want that shine instead of doing the whole face. So you still have that glow skin. You know what I mean? Bronzer, that's me taking all the extra bits and just go around where I contoured before. I always bring it down into the neck because there's nothing worse than when it just stops right there, you know? Get a fluffy brush, see how that's like a little weird and that one's good? Buff it for the gods. Go. Okay, so now I'm gonna press in this concealer. So eyebrows, even though I've gotten my eyebrows microbladed, I still have little bits and bobs that need to be filled in. I usually start from the outside, and I like this one because it has the brush on one side and the pencil on the other. There we go. Okay, so there's this Marc Jacobs pencil. So I'm gonna go into my lash line with that. So I've already done the other shimmer and I'm just gonna dot it. But the key is to just get it as close to lash line as possible. And on the bottom, I only like take it halfway. Okay. Curling your lashes is everything. I like to use this Tweezerman one, it just really works well. And I always use a primer. So what's cool about this one is you have the primer on one side, mascara on the other, and it works so well with people with super sensitive eyes like me. I always blink through the wand. Use some eye drops. I like to use these Lumify ones. I'm gonna go in on the bottom lashes through the wand. I remember watching my mom always be like, what is she doing? She'd be like, look at that pretty fluffy brush. Cream blush. And just put a little bit where you would naturally flush. So you go like this, just right there on the apples of your cheeks. So, long wear lip. So I'm gonna do the lighter one on the outside. And you can even go a little bit outside your lip line if you wanna give the illusion of a fuller lip. go in with a little bit darker nude and just put it in the middle. And maybe I'll put a little bit of powder under my eyes. I like to do a ton of powder, but just a little. The Magic Balm just here. So you still have like the matte lip on the outside, but on the inside you still have